today is a really busy day with some really great sessions.
We need a bottom-up approach instead of a top-down.
So hopefully by 2025, 2026, you'll be running at the zero emission.
So do you think you will ever say we are no longer selling conventional diesel engines?
Because it's the kind of overarching theme of this whole forum, what do you think has to change leading up to 2030?
Well, for me, and this is something that I don't want to talk about women. It's not about women. What I tried to say yesterday, in the forum, and it was good that these guys encourage us. They're right, you know what I mean? We have to speak up. I miss, again, I have been here, this is my third time, and I had the same feeling, and when I was looking at the panel, thinking, okay, same people, it's all about the builders, which is fine, of course, they're building the vessels, but I miss the crew. Where is the crew? They have so much to say, and I'm not talking about women chief engineers. I'm talking about anything. It doesn't matter. We don't have to have 50-50 representation, because I do have a 50-50 representation in my company, and we deal with all kind of people on board. We need to invite captains, pursers, chief stewardesses, chief engineers. We need these people here to explain the reality of what's happening on board. I mean, when you build, or when an owner decides to build a boat, you have a crew that they are going through the process. They are building the vessel. They are there every day, not the owner. It's actually the crew, the captain, the chief engineer, the girls to look on the interior. They are very involved in that. And then after, they are the ones living on board. Who else is going to give you much more or better advice about how things run, if they run well, if they are economical or not economical, more than the crew?
I just wanted to touch on female representation as well, just because it is an important topic, and I wanted to know why do you think there is such a big problem? Do you think that it's something to do with the media? Perhaps there's a kind of subconscious bias, or do you think it's part of a bigger problem where women aren't getting into senior roles and management roles?
No, I'm not actually upset about the representation, because the reality is that you see a lot of women in the companies. You know what I mean? We don't have to go out there. Oh, we're not there. We are there. The thing that it upsets me is when we when we put a person on a role.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the moderator was saying about women chief engineers. I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to be a chief engineer. You know what I mean? I don't want to be a chief engineer. I run a company, and I have different people. I have guys that they prefer to be doing the running thing, and other guys that they want to do the concierge. My thing with this industry in general, with the maritime world, because this happens as well in Spain. Let's stop it. You know what I mean? No women are saying that they want to be pilots or captains. It's not about that. It's about giving them the importance. Of that they are important as well for the industry. My point is, it's not only about captains or chief engineers. There are other people around, and maybe that person is a guy. I'm not talking about the gender. I'm talking about that the representation in the industry is all about us. And you might get a good captain that is a female captain. Good on her. You know what I mean? But I don't have to go with the flag saying, oh, I'm a woman and I'm a captain. No, I'm in the industry. I always say, I work on boats for 8 years, and nobody stopped me from me to get the position of a captain. I just had to study. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? And I didn't want to be a chief stewardess either. I just started my own business. That's what I wanted. But my point is, I don't want to go with this female thing. Oh, we're not allowed to do that. I just want that. Let's just stop it. The industry is much bigger, and there's all kind of people there. Doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, and if there is a coincidence that woman is a captain. Doesn't matter, you know what I mean? It's all about bringing these people in. Like I say, when you build a boat, there is always a captain, and as well a person, a woman, taking care of the interior part of the vessel. Or a man, doesn't matter, captain, female, but there's a lot of people involved, and they need to be here and talk about what's going on really, because they are on the day by day of the vessel, of the operations, when the guests are on board and when the guests are not on board. So that's important.
Victoria, we're here at the Superyacht Forum where the theme is Superyacht 2030. Now, a lot of the conversation has been about getting new owners into the market and keeping them in the market, but in order to do that you need to have some fairly foundational issues sorted. Can you tell me about your approach to governance and how that keeps owners engaged?
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks for having me today. It's been really interesting. In terms of what we've got to do is try and keep the clients that we've already got, as well as grow the base. And actually at JTC Group, that was one of the ideas of bringing in the private office, because it allows us to give the client a much more holistic service. So we can actually then come in and help clients in places that we never could before. It's a very, very personal relationship with that client, and it's people that perhaps they don't have the wealth to establish a family office, or they don't necessarily need one, but we can come in and help them that way and help them on that personal level, so that in terms of, for instance, buying a yacht, we can take them through the whole process and help them sort of project manage it, make sure they get the right people involved, and that's all to do with personality as well. You can reel off yacht managers, shipyards, brokers, etc., but it's what works for that particular client.
Sure. At the risk of asking how long is a piece of string, how complex can it be when you have a lot of transitional high value assets that are going all around the world, and what are some of the things that are overlooked? Because we've seen people being dropped into either leasing structures or whatever it may be, and they've been provided bad advice. So what are the risks to clients if they don't lean on the expertise of a business like yours?
I'd say, well, maybe the risk is that they can miss something. I mean, the thing is, we're all human and people make mistakes, and what was right 5 years ago might not be right now. So that's why with clients what we try to do is sort of almost like an asset sort of reconciliation, and have a look at what they've got and what's working properly. And it's not necessarily us always giving the advice, it's us knowing when to go to the external experts, but also using our 1,500 people within the company as well. Private office is a very small part of that, but we can lean on our colleagues who have other specialisms and other contacts outside of that. I think the best thing is that, as I said, things do go wrong, and it's finding a solution to fix that for the clients. More clients are multi-jurisdictional in the sense of various different residencies. They have assets all over the place. So having somebody to come in like us that then starts asking questions and pulling even different service providers together means that we can start to look at areas where something might need readjusting.